I mean, did we see it all tonight or what? Right? I mean, what a crazy game. But once again, I couldn't be more proud of our guys. I mean, they battled and battled and battled, and even there in the fourth quarter when things still weren't going our way, they continued to just play hard, and you can't ask for anything better than that right there. And just told them in the locker room, we got the making of a good team. We did not play a very good game, but we found a way to win. Imagine what we can be if we just tighten up some things. And we've got to do that. We got to cut these penalties out. And we still had one turnover there and one fumble. But what a crazy play that ended up being, right? With us getting a touchback off of it. But there's a lot of positives. Obviously, a win's a win. Never apologize for that. But there's so much we can improve on, and that gives us a lot of excitement for the near future.
What do you say about your defense? I mean, every time it feels like they got to stop when you need them when they got one.
I mean, this is 4 weeks in a row those guys have battled. They really have. I mean, even A&M last week. I mean, they fought their tails off. They were overmatched and still played solid defense. I think we had one blown assignment. We didn't carry their back out of the backfield on that one touchdown there after we went for the fake punt. And that was about the only blown assignment I saw tonight. There might be more, but hats off to that defense. They've been battling their tails off.
The offense was really stagnant in that first half.
Yep.
Obviously, the Hail Mary at the end. Do you feel like that kind of gave life to this team and gave you guys momentum carrying it?
Well, it definitely didn't hurt, right? But I don't know. We still didn't come out clicking on all cylinders in the third quarter either. But hats off to Stephen F. I mean, they piled the box. They had a lot of guys up front. They gave us a lot of different looks. We're playing with a new tackle. There was a lot thrown at him. I thought he did pretty good considering. They gave us some fits, that's for sure.
The fact that you're able to do this again another week, what does that say about, you talked about finishing, but actually to see the outcome come this way, what does that mean for you?
Well, it's just again something else to build off of, right? Very similar end result from when Southern was here. We didn't play great ball that first half, and special teams kind of ignited us and got us going. And tonight, it kind of took us a while again to get going, but we got to start games that way. I'm frustrated with that right now. We've got to start games like we've been finishing. And maybe that's partly my fault. Maybe we've been coaching finish too much. That's all we heard last year, right? Hey, we're not finishing. But we're finishing right now. But we got to start better because we got some great teams on our schedule. And if you don't play a solid 4 quarters, you're not going to beat some of these schools.
Is that the kind of tempo and everything you want to see in the offense in the fourth quarter?
Yeah, I'd love to be that way all the time. I really would. Again, there were some guys that got their first start tonight. We were doing our best to put them in good situations, but you've seen us play now for 4 games. Sometimes we'll go tempo fast, other times we'll kind of use the clock. So we're a little bit of everything there.
Coaches always say, to get your chance, you have to make a big play to impress the coaches, get more playing time. Jesse Campbell, I thought, had a great game.
He did.
Talk to us about
That's probably his best game he's had so far, and he was in the game. He attacked for 4 quarters, and he also knew that we need him. With Curtis being out this week, somebody had to step up for us. And he had a great week of practice, so that's good to see. Jesse can be a big-time player for us.
Obviously, this is one of the reasons why you brought Clifton here, to have a drive like that,
yeah,
be poised in that. How do you get his poise to be what he was on the field to what it is at the end and not get the penalty?
Get under control, you mean?
Yeah.
Well, that's his strengths and his weaknesses, is emotion. He's an emotional guy, and that's what makes him such a great player. You can see this is the second game he's been in where his emotions carried him through that long drive right there, and he drove himself into the end zone. So, but I told him afterwards, how I love you. I love how you play, but you got to control those emotions, and you can't put us in tough situations like that after those long penalties.
On that scooping, well, it wasn't a scoop and score, ended up being a touchback. Was there almost like a breathing sigh of relief from the sidelines when you guys kind of?
Yeah. I guess there is such thing as a football gods. I guess they were smiling at us right there, right? I don't know. I didn't really see it. I guess he tried to showboat a little bit and lost control of the ball. But what a tough lesson to learn, and that's something we'll definitely coach with our players about it. This is why you don't do it. I know you see it in football all the time, but until you're in a game where you experience that and it could cost you, that's a tough lesson.
Not having Micah in there, who stepped up for you on defense the most?
I don't have the tackles in front of me. I thought from afar Tristan played how many?
He had
14. Yeah, I thought Tristan played lights out, and then I thought at the same time as Toston stepped up, and so did Peyton Lemire. Kind of those 3 guys rotated in the middle right there. Hard to replace 20 tackles a game. Mike is a heck of a player. We all know that.
Coach, you got 10 different receivers who caught balls, 6 different guys rushing. You guys on your side of the fence talk about offensive identity. Does this team yet have an offensive identity, or is it still in search?
Well, I think we got an identity. I want to play cleaner, right? I want to eliminate some of these mistakes, especially the penalties. We can't have that many holding penalties and personal fouls. But we got a lot of playmakers. We're going to use that backfield. We're going to stay with the hot hand. If not, we're going to continue rolling them in. We always have rolled in a lot of receivers in and out. But if you can spread the ball around, that gives you some advantages at times.
Facing guys like Austin and Bobineau on the defensive line for Stephen F. Austin, how do you think the offensive line did?
I need to watch the film. Austin's a heck of a player. We were concerned about him. He is All American, has made a lot of plays, played a lot of football. He was very similar to that defensive end from Southern. Very similar players right there. So, we set our protection to him a lot, did a lot of different things, cross protected, trying to keep him off balance. But they did a heck of a job. That defensive line gave us fits most of the night.
Last year, losing games at the end kind of sent you into a funk. What's the difference like on this side?
I'm hoping it's get us on a roll, right? We get on a roll. But again, for these guys to continue battling like that and find a way to win when we know we didn't go out there and execute at a very high level is very, very encouraging. These guys can be very dangerous. We got to continue playing better ball as the weeks go on.
The awesome Aussie, that's what I'm calling Finn Lappin.
Finn,
I think he.
what do you average tonight? Got to be about 50, right?
He averaged
2 of 6.
I think he flipped the field every time he punted the ball.
That kid, and he had one as a high snap, and the guy didn't get his hand on it, and he launched that one. Now, Finn, so happy for that kid. He's a talent himself, but cool and calm back there, and he's just got a cannon for a leg. I don't like to talk about punters a whole lot, though.
Anything else, anybody?
Quick question.
Yeah, go ahead.
McDowell on the move, being able to hit big passes. The Hail Mary notwithstanding, there was 2 or 3 others where he was hit, moved. One in particular, the Harris, 61 yard or something.
Yeah.
Like the long one on the sideline.
Yeah, well, that's one of his strengths, right? He's a big quarterback. He's a pocket passer. He can kind of bounce defenders off of him while still keeping his eyes downfield, and that's one thing we loved about his film when we recruited him. Is he can make every throw. He's got a big arm, but he can also break a lot of tackles, and that's dangerous.
One question for you is, obviously you don't play here too much in the next month and a half.
Thanks for reminding me of that.
So how important was it to get not only the league started, but also get some momentum home and make sure you take care of home?
Yeah, absolutely. We're home again next week, and then I think we're not home again until when? Is it November? Which is unreal to think about. But we'll after next week we'll start talking to the team about flipping that mentality of being the road warriors. And it's football. It's part of it, right? Next week's a very important game to us because we are home, and it's a team that's got the better of us the last 2 years. So as soon as we get in the office tomorrow morning, we'll be all locked in on Alcorn.